The Democrats have let you go. Black Americans, you can continue to be, particularly my boomers and my late Gen Xers that are slow to the draw. You can continue to be in love with her, but she done moved on, man. She got a new man. She done with you. Bye. See it. She changed the locks. Now, you want to sit outside? You want to be a stalker? That's what you want to do? Or you want to move on?
The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report.
The Black Truth Report.
People that are broke in New York are concerned about New York. You know? So the coalition there, and it's not black people. They voted largely for Cuomo. And here's, in my estimation, why. There is no group of people in America who are owed more than black people and have gotten less. There's not one group. We've spent the last few years talking about Latinos who have now passed black people as a voting bloc and an economic bloc. Yep. We now talk only about immigrants coming from other countries.
Yep.
We speak about Jews and Muslims, frankly, more than American-born black people. Yep. They know that the conversation has moved on from them. Mamdani is talking about immigrants more than black people.
Yeah.
They know that. They're not stupid. They're well aware that the Democratic Party's kind of moved on a little bit from black people.
Yeah.
They get it.
Uh-huh.
They get it.
Yeah, some of them.
They're going, yeah. We pick up what you're putting down. So I think Cuomo to them has name recognition, and they understand that this is going in the direction that doesn't include them. The Democrats are building a coalition that doesn't include black people. They know it. They're well aware of it. It's coastal, educated, college educated. I'm not saying smart. I'm saying educated white people and illegal immigrants. That's all. That's their coalition. It's not the worst coalition. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does include black people. It's people in the GLBTQ IA2 world. It's educated white people, and it's immigrants. That's primarily the Democratic coalition. That's all they're talking about ever. They talk about low-income people, but I mean, it's like, But it's really the cultural energies behind immigration. And Zoran's like, we're going to Trump-proof New York because he might cut our federal funding. And listen, I'm an opponent of those barbaric ICE raids. I think they're fucked up. But I do think criminals need to be deported. And I also think criminals will have wives and kids. So a guy that's wanted for attempted murder, whenever goes, oh, that woman's pregnant. They went to her house. It's like, a pregnant mother, yes, but her husband was wanted for attempted murder. So there are going to be situations where, shockingly, murderers and people that have been violent have also procreated. And that,
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a situation where it's like, but he's a father. It's like, yeah, okay. You know who's a father? Putin. Putin's a father.
Next.
Yeah, I love this, man, because this is something I've been saying. I've been saying it for a couple years now. And I don't know if Tim Dillon's a watcher of the show. Whenever I'm up at night Googling, when I put in Tim, there's a couple Tims that come up. Of course, Tim Black, but Tim Dillon and Tim Pool. So Tim Dillon I find a lot more interesting than Tim Pool. That being said, spot on here. Maybe Tim Dillon was Googling his name and came across Tim Black. And he realized, hey, some black people do know what's going on. They do realize they're being replaced. They do realize that they're being outpaced. They do realize that Hispanic Americans are the primary beneficiary of things. And it's smart. He said smart black people get it. Black people are smart. Well, not all of us. Some of them still follow Al Sharpton. and now Jamal Bryant into a road leading nowhere except to their own personal bank accounts. Some of them don't get it. The Democratic Party, as Tim points out, their coalition does not include black people. We are an afterthought. LGBTQ, college educated, and illegal immigrants. And then he went on later to say just immigrants. That's their coalition. That's why they brought in 10 million new people. That's what they were hoping to do. And Trump sees it and says, hey, this can't last. I'm not even going to say that Trump did. I'm not even going to say Trump's focus on immigration has to do with as much as saving jobs as it may do with avoiding Democrats being able to pad elections. But there could be multiple reasons, right? And, you know what I'm saying? Could be multiple reasons why you do a thing. You could exercise every day to look good and to be healthy. Doesn't have to be one thing. And it could be both things. And it also could be to get out the house. Tim Dillon's right. So was Tim Black. And what's bad are the number of black Americans who can't seem to get this point through their heads. They don't understand it. They don't want to let go of the past. The Democrats have let you go. You can continue to be. Black Americans, you can continue to be, particularly my boomers and my late Gen Xers that are slow to the draw. You can continue to be in love with her, but she done moved on, man. She got a new man. She done what you buy. See ya. She changed the locks. Now, you want to sit outside? You want to be a stalker? That's what you want to do? Or you want to move on? Or you want to get in where you fit in? Man, the choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. I say you get with this because this is where it's at. Check the archives. I've been talking about this. It's part of the urgency. It's part of why I've been saying black people need to get out of the Democratic Party because they have gotten out of you. I don't know if we made it clear enough for you. They already left you. You're still in an emotional relationship with a party that's no longer focused on you. I told you, in 1970, the average black family, 1950, give me 20 more years. In 1950, average black family, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. In 2020, last time we did the survey, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. We ain't moved an inch voting for the Democrats. Meanwhile, the Hispanics have started coming to the country during that time period, and guess what? They're at 50% home ownership. You heard Tim say it, Tim Dillon say it, you heard the other Tim say it, you heard me say it, it's been said, you can Google it, it's what it is. Now, I don't know how you keep score, but houses would be a good way to keep score. Not who got to host the Grammys the most, not who has more Tyler Perry movies, not who was the Final Five or the Final Four, whatever challenge. Who got the best TikTok dance? These things don't matter. We gotta get stuck. We gotta get unstuck from stupid. At some point, we don't need symbols. We need solutions. Part of the solutions is waking up to the fact you have no party. Therefore, you have to act independently and form a new bloc that votes his best interest. It's not that our votes don't matter. It's not that our money doesn't matter. It's not that they feel like, why focus on you? We got you in our pocket. That's the lesson. They'll still take your advocacy. They'll take Jasmine Crockett being a crash test dummy. They'll take Letitia James throwing away her career on a fool's errand. They'll take Fonnie Willis making a fool out of herself. They'll take all of the black women crashing and burning for the Democrats while giving them nothing for it. And they'll take black votes. They'll take black support. And they'll take you riding and dying on social, acting like a fool. Meanwhile, the numbers show when it comes to policies, who's winning when those policies have greatly more impacted white women, LGBTQ, and illegal immigrants.
It's just about, to me, what says more about the political stuff is what's behind it. So you have these people that are all like, they went to school, they were told they were very special people and talented, and they got into the right schools and got the right degrees, and now they're like paying $29 for a sandwich in New York City, and they're pissed. They got to take shit from some boss. And New York makes you envious like no place. And by the way, I'm not talking about the people who genuinely need help in this city. Okay, the black people that the Democratic Party don't give a shit about, whose lives, a lot of them are fully responsible for the degradation of African-American communities, and do deserve a lot more than the government does. I'm not talking about those people. And I'm not talking about the people that suffer under a healthcare system. I'm talking about now people that are envious, as I am. I'm an envious. We all envy. And the people that don't admit it are liars. I envy people. I do my podcast in a building with a lot of finance people. And I understand, and they make more money than me. Why would that be the case? Because we live in a sick society. But that envy, New York City breeds it because the richest people in the world live here. The richest, wealthiest people, and I don't mean only in America, all over the world, live here. People talk shit to you here and down to you in accents from all over the globe. You get insulted here in different languages because it's a global city.
Look, guys, the secret is out, and people are aware of it. I want to thank Tim Dillon for putting out this content, man. It's good to hear somebody saying the truth. Yeah, Black Americans are the other group of people that are more obligation. America has a more obligation to Black Americans more than any other group in America. And what people did was they used that as collateral to help themselves instead of help Black people. You've been sold out by Black people. Look, any person from, one of the things you'll notice if you take time, do this, man. When you got a couple hours to spare, go look at Africa. Look at the complaints of Africans about Africa and about those different countries and about their governments and about their officials. And you will see there is a long-standing history of Africans selling other Africans out for the wealth, the whatever. These are very rich companies. Very rich countries in Africa selling out the citizens in those countries, and meanwhile keeping the money for themselves. And then look at Latin America. There are rich areas of Latin America, same thing. There are rich places all over the globe where people do that. That's the same thing that happened to Black Americans in the U.S. Same exact thing. The minerals and the riches that Black Americans have is the legacy of pain and suffering, what was done to Black Americans, which gives us a moral authority, which gives us the soul, which from that came all forms of music, great inventions, a history, a creative artistry that's different than anyone else on the planet. All right, so we have that, right? What happened was in the 60s, the late 60s into the 70s, people like Al Sharpton have taken it and commodified it and turned it into a commodity to sell for themselves. And say, well, you know what? We're going to let you. What Jim Clyburn did was he commodified pain and suffering of the civil rights era and handed it like a gift to Biden, as long as Biden helped him, as long as it benefited him and his chosen people that he had in place. And that's what Biden did. And then Biden took that entree to the Black community and used that to go to the presidency. Clyburn's not the first person to do it. Al Sharpton does it too. Why do you think Al Sharpton's on MSNBC? Is Al Sharpton on MSNBC because he's an amazing commentator? He has important things to say? Because he's such a dynamic interviewer? No, he's not. None of the above is true. It's because he has that moral authority being dripped, laced with the civil rights movement that he's laid claim to. And then we have black people that think, hey, Al Sharpton, he fought for us. Remember that time he went marching? Every time somebody black get killed, here he is. He rides for us. He's taking that moral authority that white Americans just don't have, because by and large, so many people in their group have been benefiting from pain and suffering of others. They just don't have it. The only thing that Black America has left is that moral authority. And we got to stop letting certain people in certain Black Americans use it to sell us out while they enrich themselves. There is no reason why Black Americans have not moved 10, 20% in home ownership. There's no reason at all. You can walk around in life believing that these things are done by accident and nothing's controlling anything, and this is just the way the cookie crumbles. Or you can be a thinking person that can realize that in America, with a country as rich as America, things that happen are intentional. Things that happen do not just happen out of the blue. We print our own money. There's a scene from that Jack Nicholson movie. Is it The Departed? Yeah, I think it's The Departed. And I forget exactly what happened in the scene, but Jack Nicholson plays this horrible character. There's two scenes. One of the scenes was, and I'm gonna butcher it a little bit, but I think I'm gonna get the point. One of the scenes was Jack Nicholson said, and it's a voiceover. He said, if I had any complaints about the blacks, it'll be this. No one gives it to you. You got to take it. The other one was, and once again, this one I'm paraphrasing. And this wasn't directed towards Black Americans, but I took it that way. And I'll apply something to my life. It doesn't have to be exactly for us. But this is one to grow on. He said, this reminds me of America. And he said, and I forget the context, but he says, you know how many people had to die for me to be me? And I sat with that for a moment. Do you know how many people had to die for me to be me? It was almost like an indignity. How you gonna try to lock me up, man? You know how many people I had to kill to get to do this? You know how many people died? I was like, damn, I gotta kill you. Because if I don't kill you, I'm not gonna be able to be this. And it would be disrespectful for me to take your life and not be this thing, because that's the whole point. Now that ate you and didn't. Now they slaughtered an animal, but I'm not going to eat it. You got to eat the animal. Get what I'm saying? So to those Black folks that have sold us out time and time again, yet they benefited. They've grown. Their business is booming. They are expanding. They live in the life. Us, not so much. Haven't moved in home ownership. Haven't moved in life expectancy. You know how many people had to die? You realize how many people had to die for Al Sharpton to be Al Sharpton? You know how many Black people had to be underserved for Al Sharpton to be Al Sharpton, for Rolling to be Rolling, for Clyburn to be Clyburn, for Obama to be Obama. You realize how many people lay in the wake How many people laying? Hey, man, it gets deep. It gets deep. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope it resonates with you. It applies to all. But, man, I think Tim Dillon is on to something, man. I think this is going to go viral. And, look, if it's not going to be me saying it that makes it go viral, maybe it's the way he said it. Or maybe it's the complexion for the protection from the collection. I don't know. It could be a series of things. It could be the lighting. Maybe I need a cool beach background. But all I know is I need that message out. And anybody saying that message, I'm bigging it up because it's important for Black people to accept. That train has left the building. The train's gone without you. Accept it. You didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Well, now what you gonna do? All right, go independent here with the Tim Black Show, where we focus on solutions, not symbols. All right, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Show. Starting only $5 a month, get all our content delivered to your Patreon profile. Bam! All right, let's go to comments, man.
Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.